Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, July 12th, and we are getting ready to leave Dutch Oven, heading to Graves Lake today. Today should be a lot more tolerable than yesterday, as it's only 7.2 miles. However, we do have some river crossings to go through and whatnot. So here's where we stayed last night at the Dutch Oven. Our team has broken down camp already and we're ready to go.
We're all putting on micro spikes, except for Rattler, who's making it across without them. But we brought him on this trip, so we're going to use them. It's early morning and there's probably ice under that snow for sure.
Little microspikes. Work like a charm.
We're about 3 miles in so far on our trek to Graves Lake this morning, and it's been a lot of descent, but now we're going back into the ascent again. I think we're going to be going up about 600 to 800, and it's no switchbacks, it's just straight up.
So today, guys, on day number 3, going to Grave Lake, you need to follow the Karens. Karens everywhere. It's easy to lose the trail. So for that, just follow the Karens all along the way. There's another one right there. Just follow them along the trail.
All right, it is almost 11 o'clock. And boom, we got those two getting ready for lunch. We're going to partake in this beautiful scenery here. There's the other two, part of our crew. And now I'm going to make my way up towards Raven, up on our perch up there, and try to. There we go.
We wanted to start fresh, you know? Right. Get there, start fresh, have a nice shower, last meal, all this.
Well, you're going to need that canister for the John Muir Trail.
Of course.
Yes.
And you know, we're just starting with our adventures. Right.
All right, guys and gals, we are at an impasse right now. We are at the Little Windy River. And as you can see, the currents are extreme. So now we're posed at trying to figure out what will be the best route to get to the trail that's right there. So right now we're at mile marker 5. We're going to be sending 2 people upstream to see if we can get a crossing there. And we're going to send another 2 people downstream for 10 minutes out to see if we can get anywhere to pass on the Little Windy River. All right, everybody. Raven and Rattler, we went up north of the crossing, and as far as the eyes can see, we don't have any good place to cross over. The best place may have been right here, but the amount of water going through that opening, and as deep as it is, which is probably about waist high, is going to knock some of us off our feet and send us downriver. So the decision has been made as a team to abort this crossing over to there. And what we're going to do is head upstream about 1.5 miles. We're going to hook into the, what's that trail called? The Washakie Trail. With us meeting that impasse in the river, we've decided to blaze our own trail along the riverside for at least 1.5 miles to see if we can hook up with another trail. All right, guys, so we are making our way across the upper portion of the Little Windy. There goes Raven. How was the water? Freezing. So we made our way across a couple crossings here. Water was probably about 2 feet deep. Definitely cold as it's being fed by the snow melt. This is the best area we found across.
This is our campsite for night 3. We had to take a little detour. We are rerouting our journey because of the Little Windy River crossing. As we showed you earlier, how it was roaring rapidly. It was crazy, too dangerous, too sketchy to cross, so we had to reroute our journey. And the water is just down there. Right there is the river. That's still the Little Windy River. A view from our tent.
It is roughly 7:20 on Wednesday, and we're already inside our tents because of, I'll zoom in so you can see it, mosquito. They are brutal and they are relentless. That is on Raven's side of the tent. Luckily we have none inside here with us. And same thing on my side. So we decided to call it a night. And hopefully these little buggers will be gone in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, July 13th. And we are getting ready to go and start to tackle the Washakie Pass. We were unable to stay on our normal course yesterday due to high rivers and rapids and the inability to cross. But we got to see this beautiful scenery last night and again this morning. It is approximately 7:40 and we are starting our journey for the day. Today is supposed to be pretty epic as we go up to almost 12,000 feet to Washakie Pass. There's supposed to be some ice fields that we have to go over and definitely some elevation gain. We got started a little bit early this morning in anticipation of all that. We're hoping to eventually meet up with Spider and Caterpillar because we lost them along the way and we've been worried about where they're at, what they're doing, and if they're okay. We are about 8 o'clock and we're about 300 feet higher than what we were 20 minutes ago. So that'll explain the elevation gain and heavy breathing. Hey everybody, we are now on some flat ground and we see a beautiful little lake with a mountain view here. So for every uphill pain and suffering that we get, the mountains and God provides us with beauty and awe. We are on day 4 of this hike and it's been ever-changing. We did have a very cold night last night with a little bit of condensation in our tent, but nothing that we weren't able to take care of. So as we have some flat ground, I just want to let you know we've seen plenty of different hoof prints, paw prints, and different kinds of scat out here, but we really have not run across any wildlife yet. We did see a porcupine on day 1, but that's it. We've seen some birds, some marmots. We probably saw either a mountain lion or a bobcat footprint, and we saw a bear footprint. So we know that they're out here, but we just have not seen them, but I know they've seen us. So all right, everybody, that there in front of us is Washakie Lake. Washakie Lake because we are on the Washakie Trail heading up to the Washakie Pass. So hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, because as in most of my videos, I never get the name of the pass or the trail correct for the first time, or maybe even the 5th time. But today we're going with Washakie. So we're gonna keep pressing on forward as we are going to be challenging the Washakie Pass. See, I'm already forgetting. Here shortly, where the elevation gain is going to become extreme. All right, so we are now starting Washakie Pass. Elevation gain on this should be 800. But the views, let me zoom out a little bit. The views are endless. All righty, so as we get higher in elevation, we are seeing our white friend, the snow. Trail's been muddy so far coming up because of this snow melt, but with the higher elevations, the snow is still staying here. So we bumped into a few hikers yesterday that said we will need our micro spikes to cross certain areas of Washakie Pass. So that was our first encounter with snow for the day. Probably about 100 feet worth of it. No big deal. And now onward we go.
The Washakie Trail, our detour because of the river yesterday, and we are going to be going over what's called Washakie Pass. It is going to be somewhere along this mountain ridge. We're not sure yet. We're following the path. We'll show you when we get there. It's going to be the toughest part of the hike today.
So guys, we made it to 11.1. We got about 5 more 100 feet of elevation to go. But I wanted to show you the beauty and tranquility of all the lakes that you can see up here and how one feeds into the other. As you can see, that's, I believe, is Pass Lake down there, which is what fills up with the snow melt from the elevations. And then each one has an outlet that feeds into the next. That feeds into the next, that feeds into the next, which then made for that river crossing that we were unable to do, thanks to the unprecedented amount of snow that they had this year. So stay tuned as we go 500 feet more up in the air. We are continuing to work our way up. We are about 11.4 up in the air now, above sea level, as we're making our way further and further up to the pass. Awesome. Or for us, epic.
Washakie Pass.
We have now reached the pinnacle of today's hike, which is Washakie's Pass. So right now, I'm gonna zoom in. You can see the footprints right there as they go across. So the crew is getting their micro spikes on to conquer this new and final epic portion of our hike. Our first traverse and ascent up Washakie Pass.
Oh, we got a guy up there.
Yep. All right, guys, we made it so far. All the way up, guys. Hey, Raven.
Woo! It's fun.
All right, guys, that's the first. Now, up there.
Deeper part.
Woo!
We're going there and then up the road.
So we've decided against this almost vertical ascent to take off our micro spikes, stow away our poles, and do a rock scramble for the next. Let's see, we're going to be doing it for about 250 feet. There goes Gaia, Starbucks, and Raven, and I'm going to be right behind them now. Right now we're about a quarter of the way up our rock scramble. We'll let you know when we get to the top. Raven, look at me.
Nice job, Yogi. Rattler, you're amazing.
That wind.
Nice job, Bars. You got this. Our lunch break today, guys. Our lunch break. Yes, we got somebody made this blockage from the wind, and we're taking advantage of
Hell yeah! Made it to the top. Now we're on our way down. Winds up here are pretty windy if you can't hear it. But it looks like this is the downward slope now. But we have probably about another 4.5 miles to go in this. So we're a hair under 12,000 feet up here. And it's been all uphill on that side. And I'm hoping that it's all downhill on this side. As we're making our way down from Washakie Pass, it is a continuous downhill slope, opening up into pure beauty on this side of the mountain. The downhill descent in itself is still kind of challenging. As you see, there is a ton of loose rock, so footing is always an issue. Using your truck poles, which I'm not doing right now, is not recommended. But I kind of wanted to show you guys and gals what's on the other side of the mountain. Here comes Raven out of Washakie Pass.
Woo! We made it!
Up there, Washakie Pass, we've made our way down. A lot of mini switchbacks coming down. We're actually onto the trail. We are way down on Washakie Pass now. We're down to roughly about 10,572 feet from almost the 12,000 feet that we were at. So we've lost almost 1,500 feet in elevation. It's all been a downward slope on this side. Blue skies, sunny, and enough wind to keep the bugs away. So can't beat that. Doing good, Raven, doing good. You done good. Hey everybody, we decided to call it a day. It is now roughly 3:45. We put in roughly 8.5 miles. We did our last creek crossing right there, which is Washakie Creek, which actually, believe it or not, has some decent little fish in there, some spring trout. And we decided to set camp up here. You can see us right there. And then you got we're getting Mars, and you actually have Mars or Gaia behind there, and you have Starbucks there. We decided to camp out in the open today just because we're trying to get away from these bugs. The mosquitoes are just relentless. They don't stop, and we're just hoping that the winds will keep them away from us. This is our 360 view of the campsites where we're at and what we're going to be enjoying for this evening, and hopefully with the sunset. And there, cashed out, is Raven. Gotta take a picture of that is there. Coming back out, this is our 360 view of our last night on the Cirque Towers here in beautiful Wyoming.
All right, guys, it's the last day on the trail. I woke up to see the sunrise. I'm waiting for it to come over those mountains. Caught the sunset last night. And I just wanted to show you the beer canisters. You just kind of tuck them where you can. This is tucked in this tree. One of our beer canisters, so that a bear couldn't easily get to it. So just wanted to show you that's what we've been doing, and that's what you're supposed to do. Can't keep it by your tent. So it looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. It got cold last night, so we got frost on our tents. Coldest night, so condensation was frozen, so it got pretty cold. But look at the sky, guys. Look at that color. It's gonna be another clear day. Another clear, sunny day. We got very blessed all 5 days that we were here.
Here we are watching a beautiful sunrise at Washakie Creek, which is where we decided to spend the night last night and not make it to Shadow Lake. With that said, these Cirque Towers here in Wyoming has been nothing short of epic. It's been exhilarating, it's been beautiful, and it's been extremely challenging. Not only with terrain, but with mosquitoes. There's my beautiful wife and partner Raven, trying to capture the sunrise also, as we embark on the last leg of our journey today, which will be 8.2 miles, back to the Big Sandy, where we will go to Big Sandy Lodge and partake in some good food and beverage. Continue to watch, as the next portion of our journey will be to the Grand Tetons and the Yellowstone National Park, before we start heading back eastward, where we'll catch many national parks like Crazy Horse, Mount Rushmore, Badlands, and a few others. We hope you enjoyed our videos here of Cirque Towers, and we hope that you come out and try it for yourself. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, hit that follow button as it doesn't cost a dime.
Good?
Ready for it.
All right, guys, we did it. We finished the adventure. And here we are at Big Sandy Lodge. We are starving. They are known for their good burgers. It's only about 1.5 miles away from the Big Sandy campground. And we are going to feast. Guys, ready to chow down? We did it.
We did.